Welcome to the Mount Pleasant Podcast, featuring discussions and interviews about the people, places, and events that make Mount Pleasant such a special place.
This is the Mount Pleasant Podcast. I'm your host, Brian Cleary, and all thanks to the great people of Mount Pleasant Magazine, I get the honor, the privilege of introducing you to Mount Pleasant, the people who make it such a special place to do business, to work, and even to live. We're introducing you to Mount Pleasant's best on the Mount Pleasant Podcast. Summertime in the Lowcountry, there's a lot going on, but something special happening that we're going to fill you in on today here in the Mount Pleasant Podcast, where the pages of Mount Pleasant Magazine come alive. I'm Brian Cleary, joined by Neve Richards. She is with Magnolia Plantation, the Director of Volunteer Engagement. Now, Neve, let's start here before we get into the specifics, because a lot of new people coming to the Lowcountry. It's possible that folks aren't familiar with Magnolia Plantation. So why don't you give us the 40,000 feet view, as when people ask you, no, what's Magnolia Plantations all about? How do you answer that?
Well, Magnolia is located on Highway 61. It's one of the historic plantations that you can visit in Charleston. We're especially known for our three pillars: history, horticulture, and nature. And if you are interested in any of those three areas, we have something that will pique your interest. It is a beautiful historic garden. It's a wonderful swamp, and there's just a lot of history here. So it's a great place to visit no matter what age you are, and you can really spend the whole day. I tell people you probably want to have at least 4 to 6 hours to spend here.
So 4 to 6 hours, you'll be busy that entire time because there's so much to do at Magnolia Plantation. And Neve's now something special just for the time that we've got going on now. Nature Pops. Explain to me what Nature Pops is.
Yes, Nature Pop is a traveling art exhibit. It is sculptures made with Lego bricks made by the artist Sean Kinney. These are world-renowned. They travel throughout the entire world, and we're really excited to have them at Magnolia, especially in the summer because they're a great pop of color in the garden.
And color is part of what Magnolia Plantation is all about. So Nature Pop, are we talking about one incredible Lego structure? How many statues, how many pieces of art will I find on a visit?
We have 43 different sculptures. They're actually located throughout the garden in 23 different locations. So when you get here, if you have a kid with you, we give you a little checklist. So it's kind of like a scavenger hunt to go and find these sculptures. And they aren't just sculptures like you and I would make at home. They're really larger than life sculptures. Some of them is as large as 6 feet tall. So some of them are really substantial. And the fact that they are these interesting colors is really a nod to modern art.
So how about giving me an example? I'm walking through part of Magnolia Gardens. I come upon a statue. What might one of these be?
Well, you might run into a life-size zebra made out of Legos, entirely out of Legos. But there's a little twist. The artist has a good sense of humor, and the zebra in particular, instead of having vertical stripes like a normal zebra, it has horizontal stripes. And then my favorite is that he actually has a little teeny orange bow tie, which I've told everyone, I said, it's like he's a true Southern gentleman. He's got this cute little bow tie. So, but you're just walking through the garden and you come upon these. But the connection for us for Magnolia is really about connecting people to nature. This just gives people one more reason to get out into the gardens, but every sculpture has some type of signage that teaches families and individuals to think like a scientist and to think like an artist. So it points out the horizontal stripes instead of the vertical, and then also talks about how vertical stripes help zebras from getting bit by flies, things like that. So you learn lots of tidbits.
It's such a great idea to me, though, because honestly, I assumed when I heard about Nature Pop, it was just going to be one area of the gardens where I would go, and then I'd go to another area and experience to have them spread out like that. Do you have any idea? Seems like there's more than, a dozen or 2 dozen Legos. Probably takes a lot of Legos to make all these statues. Any idea how many Legos we're talking about?
Yes, a ton. In fact, that zebra that I was telling you about is actually over 73,000 Legos. And it actually took him 279 hours to build that zebra. Each of the signage for this event has on it the number of Legos, which is really just baffling. Really make you go home and pull out your own Legos and try to build some stuff.
In 1982, it was East Cooper Magazine. Now it's Mount Pleasant Magazine. Mount Pleasant Magazine is about the people, places, and events that make Mount Pleasant a great place to live, work, and raise a family. Your community, your magazine. Mount Pleasant Magazine.
You're listening to the Mount Pleasant Podcast.
Yeah, so I'm coming out to Magnolia Gardens now. I have to. I've got to see Nature Pop. Is that going to be an addition to my entrance fee when I come visit you?
It's actually included in our general garden admission. And we're open from 9 to 5, 7 days a week.
Which is awesome. All included in one price. Magnolia Plantation is a value to begin with. Now we've added to your value, and we're talking about Nature Pop today here, where the pages of Mount Pleasant Magazine come alive. I'm Brian Cleary. Today on the Mount Pleasant Podcast, we're joined by, from Magnolia Plantation, Neve Richards. Neve is the Director of Volunteer Engagement. That sounds pretty impressive. Neve, what does that mean in terms of your title and what you do at Magnolia Plantation?
So I have the joy and pleasure of managing our volunteer program. We have about 140 active volunteers that are engaged in all different aspects of the plantation, from greeting to working as nature stewards, helping people understand and interpret our swamp, to digging in the dirt. We have about half of our volunteers work in the gardens, the greenhouses, and the nurseries. So we have great volunteer opportunities if you know somebody who's looking to be part of a community.
Well, let me follow up on that, Neves. Who is it that you think makes a great volunteer for Magnolia?
So we actually have a pretty diverse group of ages. We actually have some folks that are still in the workforce. We have the majority of our volunteers are folks that have just come out of retirement, or they've just moved here from another place, and they want to learn about what grows here, or just kind of learn about the area. It's a really fun place to be part of a community that has these historic ties. And as one of my volunteers told me, she said, Neves, there's just something about coming to Magnolia that it feels like it's good for my soul. And it really is a beautiful place out here to be and get to spend time. And you get to meet a lot of people within the volunteer community. And you also get to help all of our visitors, which is really a lot of fun. Meet people from all over the world coming to Magnolia to enjoy the gardens.
With 140 volunteers, I would have to think you'd be meeting people from all walks of life. So if I am interested in volunteering, what's the next step I should take?
So you visit our website and look for the volunteer section. You'll fill out an application and you'll get invited to our next orientation. And that's how you get started. It's very easy.
Well, let's go, if you wouldn't mind, a little tour. If you can take me through the entire place. Mm-hmm. Personally, I would have to say my favorite, I think the Wildlife Center is really my favorite place to visit there. Can you say, do you yourself have a favorite place?
Oh, that's so hard. I really love the Riverwalk as far as like a location, but really I find peace in so many areas here. In our cabins, we have cabins where the enslaved lived on the property, and being able to visit those and pay respect and hear the story of those people is really important to me. And the fact that our volunteers and our visitors get to do that. And it is just, there are not many places that you can still do that. And I'm just thankful we still have that here at Magnolia.
Now, you mentioned the word swamp. Normally, like in a vacation brochure, swamp would not be front and center. But for Magnolia, the swamp is really a pretty cool place.
It is. We actually have a group of volunteers called our nature stewards that help people in the swamp. There is so much to see there. And you can just, if you just pause for a moment and get quiet, the wildlife is incredible. We have a lot of folks that visit us really want to see alligators, and we have hundreds of alligators on the property, and birds. And our rookery this spring and early summer has been just spectacular, filled with lots of baby birds. And really just throughout our property, there's so many places that you can see nature in a way and get up close and personal with it that you can't other places. We have a boardwalk that actually goes through the swamp and some trails through there. And it makes for a lovely walk, really.
It's such a great area. How large is the property there? How large is Magnolia Plantations?
There's 66 acres of garden and many more acres beyond that. That's the part that our guests enjoy, and there's lots to explore. We have 6 miles of paved bicycle trails as well.
So, Neves, at a place like Magnolia Plantations, obviously we've just talked about a number of the cool areas. To me, it always seems like there's one secret place or one thing that's off the beaten path that maybe people don't realize is there. Is there one that you could point out at Magnolia Plantations for us?
Gosh, there are so many trees. I'm a huge tree lover. My kids tease me about being a tree hugger, but there are so many gorgeous trees on our property. the live oaks that are just draped with the Spanish moss. I think anywhere you can find one of those and just enjoy your time underneath that. And many of these trees have been a witness to history, so it's really neat to get to be surrounded by them. So for me, that would be my recommendation. Find a good tree.
One that I will take up, absolutely, because there's some beautiful, just magnificent trees. Neve Richards is our guest today here on the Mount Pleasant podcast. This is where we're able to go a little deeper than just the words that are written in the magazine and find out a little bit more. And today we're finding out all about Magnolia Plantation and also Nature Pop, which is really a huge, amazing Lego experience that you can enjoy right now at Magnolia Plantation. I'm Brian Cleary. Now, Neve, how long will Nature Pop be at Magnolia Plantation?
It will be here until August 15th. So come out and see us this summer and make plans to bring the whole family. The Legos really are for all ages. We laugh. We have a maker space if you're here Monday through Friday where you can go in and build stuff. And I laugh and say it really is 4 to 94. All ages go in there and build and have fun.
And with it open through August 15th, that means there's plenty of time this summer to go with your family, say on a Wednesday, because kids are going to be off school through then. So that's a great thing. Yourself, Neves, what's the best thing you've ever made with Legos?
Well, I will say, since this all started, I have pulled out my Legos. After when we did our install, and we use a forklift to bring in these really big Lego sculptures. I went home that night and I pulled out my Legos, and the whole family had them on the coffee table, and we started building. And what I realized is it's really hard to make a really good Lego sculpture. I had a lot more respect for the artist. I mean, just blown away by what he is able to do with it. So we have been tinkering with it all summer, and I don't know that I've made anything that I am ready to present or show, but it's fun. And that's what it's all about, being creative and having fun building.
And being inspired by what you'll see at Magnolia Plantation. I mean, that is just amazing, the things that people can do with Legos. Have we had any reports of people, and this shouldn't be the case, but maybe you've done it personally, because when I think of Legos, I think of the pain that I feel when I step in one in bare feet.
Absolutely. I had, when we were doing our install, I happened to hear an older couple that was visiting here from out of state, and she said, "Honey, those are Legos." And he goes, "No, those aren't Legos." And she goes, "I'm telling you, those are Legos." And I turned around and I told her, I said, "There's something about all those times you step barefooted on a painful Lego. You do not forget it. That pain makes it stick with you." I go, "She's right. They're Legos."
So we've got more than 40 sculptures there, but you touched on it a little bit, but if we can go back, so there is an interactive part of Nature Pop where I can bring my family and me and them, we can all experience and have fun with Legos.
Yes. There are two different things. One, the sculptures are in 23 different locations. So it's really fun for kids. I see kids all the time running through and to find them and check them off that they've seen them all. And they're not all easy to find. Some of them are a little bit more hidden in unexpected places in the garden. And then we also have the Wonderworks Makerspace, which we're really happy to have them sponsor that this summer. Monday through Friday from 10 to 2 each day, we have Lego tables set up and some challenges. So you may come in and get a card, and it's a little challenge for your family to build something and meet that challenge. And there's some other craft stuff in there too. So that's a really fun spot, and encourage people, to drop by if you're here between 10 and 2, Monday through Friday, to check that out.
Neves, if someone's looking for information about Magnolia Plantation, what would be the best thing for them to do? Is it to go online?
Yes, definitely. Our website, all the information is on there. You can purchase tickets online, and it also outlines information about the different tours and opportunities while you're here. There's the Lego exhibit is amazing, but there are many tours and activities that you can do while you're out here. So I definitely encourage people to check the website. We also have a fabulous app, which is another way for people to get information about what's going on.
And as the director of volunteer engagement, if someone is just all of a sudden thinking, boy, I didn't realize I could volunteer out there, I'd like to, what is it they should do to contact you?
They can go to our website and fill out the application and a waiver, and then I'll send them an invitation to an orientation. We'd love to have them. There's lots of different ways to volunteer out here, whether you love working with animals or digging in the dirt or working with people. We've got many opportunities. So we would love to have them. We always need good volunteers. So, and it's a great community.
Neves, how long have you been with Magnolia Plantation yourself?
I've been here 2.5 years. But I've been coordinating volunteers for the last 30 years. So,
well, that 2.5 years has obviously left a mark on you, your enthusiasm and just joy when you're talking about what you've got going out there. And Nature Pop, it seems like Magnolia Plantation, definitely the place to visit, not just for tourists, locals should come out as well.
Yeah. Definitely. We have a lot of folks, a lot of our locals have gone ahead and gotten a membership this summer because as we see the success of Nature Pop, we hope that we'll have more exhibits like this. And we always have great activities and events. We have 4 big community events a year that are included with people's membership. So it's a great way. And honestly, it's a win-win for everybody. You know, when my kids were little, we would come out here and the kids came for the Wildlife Center, which you said you loved. They loved that. And then I also got to do the garden. So it really is we've got something for everybody out here.
Absolutely. Something for the whole family. Make it a part of your summer. You can go more than once because there is so much to experience at Magnolia Plantation. Neve Richards is the Director of Volunteer Engagement. Neve, thanks for your time today. Really appreciate it.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. Hope to see you at Magnolia soon.
It's a great place to go. This is where the pages of Mount Pleasant Magazine come alive, and today, where Magnolia Plantation comes alive on the Mount Pleasant Podcast with me, Brian Cleary. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for spending your time with the Mount Pleasant Podcast, your community, your podcast. Listen to past and future episodes at mountpleasantpodcast.com.